Hey, it's your boy Jose from Big Meat Sports. How are you guys doing today on this lovely, lovely victory Monday for the Dolphins? But before we start this off, please, if you're on YouTube, thank you for checking us out. Hit the like button, but please go check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts. We're on those three major podcast networks. But please, don't forget to subscribe. Hey, I just want to say first, JC, we see my co-host JC is back in the building. We had Danny Radis step in yesterday, but JC, real quick.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground. We're always in control.
And when you say Miami,
what? How about them Dolphins? Hey,
right, baby.
Look, Dolphins won 21-19. Can you tell me how excited were you after that win? Wait. Hey, JC, aka Tyreek Hill, with the Tyreek Hill glasses.
I had to put my hater shades on, man. We got a lot of haters out there. You know, Bills Mafia, I got love for you, bro, especially the people I deal with in person. But Bills Mafia on Twitter, Bills Mafia on Instagram, you guys are straight ignorant and straight trash. All right, you lost. Take the L. Miami won fair and square. It was a tough game, you know, and now we got a quick turnaround. But yes, I was excited. My heart rate was up. Hey, real quick, you're recording, right?
Yeah, I'm recording.
But it was amazing. It was amazing. These last 3 weeks have been, you know, with the Patriots in week 1. I know we haven't spoken since then. You know, we kind of dominated them, although it wasn't a high-scoring game. We had our way with them. You know, Baltimore, we played like crap the first half. We faced adversity. We came back. Huge fourth quarter for us, and we ended up pulling off the win. And yesterday was just a back and forth, man. You just never knew how it was going to end, but you know, ultimately we came back. You know, Buffalo dominated time of possession. You know, they had the ball for well over 40 minutes. We only had it for 19, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And yet we were still able to come out with a win. Our defense was out there the entire game. I don't know how they fought through it. I don't know how they mustered up the energy to stop them on that last drive. But it was amazing. It was amazing. Despite all of the excuses Bills Mafia wants to give us our credit. We won fair and square. You got OSHA Karens out there. You got Bills Mafia Karens coming out saying, hey, you know, the NFL needs to review this. Oh, this is an OSHA violation. You got players out there in 100-degree weather cramping up and not able to finish the game. I don't want to hear that, man. That's been going on for years. Last year, week 2, I was there. We got demolished by Buffalo, 38-zip. No one was bringing up OSHA laws. No one was bringing up heat exhaustion when you guys came to our house and kicked our ass. And came down here this year. You took the L. That's it. Move on.
And it's funny because it's when I looked at the injury report on, I guess it was like halftime, and they showed a picture. They have somebody as this heat. It is said heat. And so, so that's it. It's crazy.
Xavier Howard had the same issue. He was out for a quarter, for a quarter and a half, maybe yesterday, due to heat exhaustion. I mean, these guys play down here every day. It's no joke. I mean, when we played basketball, you saw the heat exhaustion on me. I had to hit the what were you got? The Greg Popovich
timeouts.
This heat is no joke, and this is something we've been living in our whole lives.
Yeah.
You know, let alone, you know, these guys coming from Buffalo, but man, it was insane, but no excuses. We were both, we have half of our O-line gone. You took Tua out of the game for a little bit there. We weren't sure he was going to come back.
Yeah.
Thank God he came back because Teddy B was not looking good. You know, it was looking like I was out there throwing the ball, man. It was not good. So, but yeah, it was great, man. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but we got the W. Buffalo is still, in my opinion, they're still the top team in the NFL. The division, although we're in first place, still runs through Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and be cocky and say, hey, you know, we own them now. Absolutely not. They do have a lot of injuries, but they also, you know, they have a lot of firepower, and they're proven. They've done it for now 2-3 years. This is our year where we're coming out of our shell a little bit, but it still runs through Buffalo, you know, and I'm just happy and savoring the win against a Super Bowl contender, and especially a team that we haven't beaten since 2018.
Do you think on the Buffalo side, do you think there's question or concern of them not having a running game and them had to step back and pass 63 times? Do you think that's a concern for them?
We couldn't run against them either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then again, we never had the damn ball.
Yeah.
You know, they have you know, the running game by committee. I guess they got Singletary, Moss,
And Cook.
Yeah. I think they should give it to Singletary a bit more because he showed it, and when he did have the ball, he was making plays. But yeah, I mean, 60. He was like 40 for 63, right?
42 to 63. Yeah, 42 for 63. So that's.
I don't care if you're Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes. You should not be passing it that. You know,
my observation was that the Dolphins D was taking away the big plays. I feel like that at the beginning, especially at the beginning, Dolphins were getting torn apart from the wide receiver coming out of the backfield and catching the ball. I mean, I don't know how many times McKenzie caught the ball out of the backfield.
McKenzie, man.
Yeah, you guys brought the blitz, and instead of him picking it up, he just leaked out of the backfield, and you guys didn't have an answer for that at the beginning.
I think it was 3rd and something where we brought the house. We hit like a suicide blitz. Yeah, and they had that easy throw because they double Diggs. If you're gonna do that, you shouldn't be doubling. You shouldn't be double teaming Diggs. You know, you got to worry about that little fast motherfucker in the middle. Yeah, McKenzie, which I love him as a player. I think he's great as a slot receiver. But yeah, Josh Allen was getting what they wanted in the beginning, you know, but our defense is a bend don't break type of defense. You know, we let them get a lot of yards, we let them get what they wanted, you know, in the middle of the field. But when it came down to the red zone, we did what we had to do, and they you know, they did their thing, man. That's great.
Do you think the butt fumble saved you guys?
You know,
or the butt block?
the punt, what was it? Was it the butt punt?
Yeah, the butt punt. There you go. Okay. Yeah.
It's funny because I follow Sherfield on Twitter, and he says he's like, my ass hurts, but we got the W. That's all that matters.
Look, I can just imagine the punter coming in like, you know, today, and like Bad Boy scene where Will Smith is like, you know, I got something for you. I got the little thing. Yeah,
he should have done that. Morstead, he's a hell of a punter, man.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, and I agreed, Trent Green was saying this, we should have taken the safety right away, because thank God that ball went out of bounds, because they would have recovered. That would have been a touchdown.
Correct.
Thank God it was a safety, and then we have a free punt, so we had an opportunity to push them back there. So we should have taken the safety from the beginning. New England did that against, was it against us? I don't remember who it was, either against us or the Jets many years ago, and I didn't understand it, but they ended up winning that game. Yeah. Although they went down from taking the safety, they bet on their defense to get their ball back, which they did, and they scored. So we didn't need that kind of scenario. But yeah, that was, you know, instead of the regular 15 yards, he had 10 yards to punt.
And if the
dude didn't move.
Some football fans or some people that really don't get the game, like if you kind of really look at it, if you punt the ball at that aspect, they're probably getting the ball on the 40-yard line of your 40-yard line. So they're probably gonna be scoring on that drive.
And all they needed was a field goal.
And yeah, but if
no, that was before the. Yes, you're right.
They would have needed a touchdown, which they probably would have.
And they would have had way more time.
Way more time. So I think the little it kind of happened in your favor. I think the football gods were looking out for you guys. But
thank God.
What do you think about, like, you think Tua is going to be ready for this Thursday? Now they're saying, you know, concussion. Well, people were speculating.
No, he's not in the concussion protocol.
He's not. Like,
he's not.
I just, and look, I know that NFLPA is investigating it, and I just don't see how that's a back injury that they're talking about.
I see how it is. I do see it as a back injury. Have you ever had a lumbar injury, lower back injury before? You had
I've had sciatica pain and stuff like that, but nothing that has me wobbling like that.
I strained my lumbar. And this was playing basketball. I set a pick. Dude ran into me. James Brooks. Shout out to James Brooks if he's watching. You know, out there. He ran into me so hard. I ended up straining my lumbar, my lower back, and I collapsed, similar to how Tua collapsed when I tried to walk it off. I could not walk. I was in so much pain from that strain that number one, I got nauseous, and I got really, really lightheaded where I felt like I was going to pass out. I had to shake it off. Eventually, 5 minutes later, I was fine, and I drove myself to the ER. But I can, from my personal experience, I could see how it could be a back issue. They're going to do their investigation. He's not in the concussion protocol because Mike McDaniel addressed that today. I saw that on Twitter. They can do their investigation, man, but I'm going to go with what Tua says.
Yeah.
He has my respect, man. That kid is tough. But you and I were texting during the game. I didn't think he was. You saw I wasn't that excited about having Teddy B. And his body language. You saw how just nonchalant he was. And I get it. He's a chill dude. He's not a rah guy, but his body language to me, he just wasn't ready to go in there. And then. I don't know, man. I was just scared. So when I heard that Tua was coming out before halftime or after halftime, pumping up the crowd, and he had his helmet on, I was excited, man. I was excited, and he came back and he did his thing. He didn't need to be a world beater. Our defense did the job, but when we had the ball, we did what we had to do. Although we ended the game with like 2 or 3 straight 3 and outs. I wasn't in love with the freaking play calling until they bombed it to Waddle, which I was asking for the entire game. I was like, take the damn shot. I was texting my friend, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
And I'm like, take a shot. They have a practice squad fucking secondary. Jaquan Johnson being one of them who played for the Hurricanes.
Let's not talk about the Hurricanes. Middle Tennessee. Oh, that's another episode right there on itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I seriously didn't see why they didn't take enough shots down the field with 2 rookies at corners, and then just basically
the backup
one of them
safeties.
Went out. Yeah,
they literally had an undrafted kid off the street playing corner. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like you saw what Tyreek did to their Pro Bowl defense last year in the playoffs. Like, I just didn't understand why they weren't taking any shots. I mean, yeah, he was getting pressure, but he only got sacked once. Our O-line with the injuries was doing a pretty damn good job. But it is what it is, man. At the end of the day, our defense, kudos to them. They did a great job.
And I think if you guys would have had more time, and I'd text you this, Tua, I felt like Tua was on fire. Like he looked 13 for 18. He only missed 5 passes. And at the beginning, it looked like there was so much nerves that Tua fit one. And I think it was your fullback that, leaked out. And he dropped the ball in between like 2. And I'm like,
that was the first drive.
That was the first series. Yeah, the first series. And I'm like, man, Tua's ready. Is everybody else ready? And go ahead. It's surprising because you got a lot of veterans on that team, but like Tyreek Hill, he's used to this moment and stuff like that. And then for Tua to step up like that, you can see what kind of a leader Tua is. And that's why, I was always on the Tua, bandwagon, because I see that in him. He has that kind of dog in him that everybody counts him out, he's making plays.
He's a little cocky too sometimes.
Yeah. And it's not pretty at times.
He's a good kid, but yeah.
Yeah, and again, it's not good. It's not pretty at times, but when he sits back and puts his foot in the ground, he can deliver that ball.
No, he throws straight lasers, man. I mean, that touchdown to Craycraft.
Yeah,
I mean, I think there was three defenders there. How the hell he fit that in there? He's just that's his thing. He's a master at that. Fitting that ball into tight windows, man. I mean, I don't know how he does it. Not everybody has that gift. Even a guy like Josh Allen, I'm not sure if he could do some. He has the arm strength to do it, but I don't think he has that pinpoint accuracy that Tua has, which my boy Tyreek has been saying the entire offseason.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, man. That was great. That was great. When he was in there, I can tell you, man, I'm a lot more confident seeing him out there than I was in years past. And I get it. He was a kid. He was still progressing. But definitely this year, there's a different swag about him. There's a different vibe. Like, he is out there. He has the confidence that was missing before, and I think Mike McDaniel has a lot to do with that. I think his teammates have a lot to do with that. Guys like Tyreek, Waddle, just empowering him and giving him confidence boosts all off season, early part of the year so far. I think it's great, man. I think he's really getting a hold of this team. And that's when you see players take that next step. That's when you see players arrive, and I feel like we're going to see that out of him. Josh Allen had to go through the same thing.
Correct.
Josh Allen, I'll be honest, I hate the Bills. I love Josh Allen. He's one of my favorite players. I think he's a freaking dog. I think he's great, man. He struggled his first couple years. It wasn't until he got help that he started coming out. That dog started coming out, and he arrived, and now he's one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL.
I think ever since Stephon Diggs arrived into Buffalo, it kind of helped him out. Stephon Diggs is a top, I'll say a top
How
3,
Minnesota
maybe
traded that
5.
guy, I do not understand.
Yeah, I'll say a top 3 receiver, maybe top 5, if whatever you want to go with.
Imagine if Minnesota had Stephon and Justin Jefferson.
Oh my God! Well, you still got Kirk Cousins as the quarterback. So, no, but hey, kudos to the Dolphins. Dolphins are 3-0. I see hey, look, there's a lot of Bills haters, and like we stated earlier, you just got to take that L, guys.
And I'm even going at it with Bills fans, right? Bengals fans right now. Yeah. I mean, they're starting to chime in saying that, we got lucky and blah, blah, blah. Like, yo, at me, bro.
Yeah.
At me at Twitter. That dude, JC. Ain't no underscore, no number. That dude, look, JC.
And a lot of people had you guys, as not going to live up to the hype at the beginning of the year. I saw on NFL Network, somebody retweeted one of the analysis had you guys going 0-4 to start off the year. And look at you guys now, 3-0 going into Thursday night football versus the Bengals. And look, hey, I want to say it's going to be an interesting game, short week versus Bengals, going to Cincinnati.
Be tough.
So it's going to be a tough one. Cincinnati looked like
we just got out of a very physical game, very tough game. We don't know if any injuries are going to come out of it. We got guys that are banged up. A quick turnaround going up to Cincinnati. I want us to compete. Obviously, winning would be amazing. I didn't have the Dolphins 4-0 at this point. I had them 3-1 for sure, losing to the Bills, or at least 2-2 at the very least. Right now, we're 3-0. We have a chance to go 4-0. Then that schedule gets a little bit easier for these next few weeks. But even if we don't win, I still respect the hell out of our guys. I just want to show up. I just don't want to go over there, come out flat, and let these guys, take advantage of our injuries, of our players out there that just came out of this physical game. We're the better team. We're better than Cincinnati right now. I'm sorry to say. I know they're the Super Bowl Cinderellas last year, but it's clearly going through a hangover period. I still think very highly of Joe Burrow. They have nasty receivers, and we're still dealing with injuries on our secondary. So they're going to get some points. They're going to get what they want at some points of the game. But as long as our offense shows up and our defense gets pressure on that garbage O-line they have, I think it'll be a game. But I haven't made a decision on who I'm picking to win the game yet.
Okay, well, 3-0. Dolphins start 3-0. 1972 Dolphins undefeated. Are we thinking about that or no? I'm just kidding. Too early to tell.
Let's pump the brakes a little bit.
I'm just saying. Look, I want to get you guys, a little hyped up, and as some of you guys. So Stephen A. Smith does very well with us Cowboys fans. Gets us hyped up, and he knows.
Of course. I'm pumping the brakes because the last time we were 3-0 was 2018. You know what our record was that year? At the end of the season,
no.
7-9.
Oof. Okay.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Went 3-0, and I remember there was this whole thing like, "Hey, ask Siri who the best team in the NFL is," and she said Dolphins. It's doing that right now.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it a game at a time.
Well, again, congrats to the Dolphins being 3-0 and that wonderful, amazing game. So, there's a lot of upsets this past week. Denver beating the Niners, the Colts beating the Chiefs. It was a crazy upset weekend.
Yeah.
Jags are 2-1. So like one of my questions for you this week is which team are you more surprised to see? The Jags being 2-1 and looking dominant and scoring wise as they are right now, or the Raiders being 0-3?
I'm more surprised with the Jaguars being 2-1.
Well, okay.
Not surprised with the Raiders being 0-3, man. They play in a really tough division, but who the hell are the Raiders? Who else did they get outside of Devontae Adams?
Yeah.
I understand Devontae Adams is top 3 in the game receiving wise.
Some argue number 1.
It probably is number 1, but who the hell is Derek Carr? Derek Carr he's decent.
Thank you. But, I always say that.
I just don't understand, bro. You had people like the Colin Cowherds of the fucking world picking the Raiders to get in the playoffs over us. Like, who the hell are the Raiders? What the hell did they do last year for you to push them, put them on this fucking pedestal.
Yeah.
They got to play the Chiefs, which, yeah, they lost Tyreek, but at the end of the day, that division still goes through them. They have Denver, who, got Russell Wilson, has not looked good.
Yeah.
The Chargers, speaking of the Jaguars, they just got their ass kicked at home. But the Jaguars, I'm more surprised with them because, number one, I know Trevor Lawrence is going to be a pretty good quarterback. Who else do they have? They have Christian Kirk, people are making fun of, but the dude's been consistent in every game so far.
Marvin Jones Jr.
I forgot they even had Marvin Jones Jr. They got James Robinson, who came out of the graveyard because last year they I don't know what the hell happened to him.
And Travis Etienne, which was hurt last year, and I think they're giving him more touches and stuff like that. And I saw he has some burst this year with that offense, and he's catching out of the backfield, and I think that's kind of a good thing. And look, I'm going with you on the Jags because I didn't think that Doug Peterson, their offense or their coach, will.
Which, by the way, I wanted before the Dolphins got McDaniel.
Oh, okay. So, but I didn't think that he would change this offense as them looking as dominant as they are. Like, they're well-rounded team. They can run the ball, they can pass the ball. I mean, he's just right now in 3 games. He's calling a hell of a 3 games right now. I believe really I forgot who they lost to the first game. I think they lost to Washington. And come on, and that was a high-scoring game. And you never know on the first games because you're trying to feel out like you don't know the coach's tendencies, and some people have new offensive coordinators. Washington has a new quarterback and everything. Wentz, which really sucks. Thank God he's back in the division. So, but I was just surprised that Doug Peterson. He's calling a really good game plan. For the Raiders aspect, like you said, and I've said it multiple times on this podcast, that Derek Carr is not that dude. He is not that dude. Their defense is getting gashed on the run, on the pass. They can't stop, nobody. And it just, there is so much high hopes. And I kind of, I was going on that, Raider bandwagon. I was like, damn, they have a really good offense. Who's going to stop, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow. And Waller. You know who can stop him? Derek Carr can stop him because he's not making the good reads. I heard, and it's reports, but Devontae Adams might be pissed that they're starting R3, which I would be pissed too, because you had high expectations. Raider Nation had high expectations. You have that nice ass facility, and you're not getting anything out of it. It has to be somewhat embarrassing. I think if there's not a players only meeting soon in that locker room, there has to be. And I don't know.
I didn't look at the schedule, but do you know who they play next?
I'll check it right now. I don't know who they play next, but that is a must-win game. And if it's not, then they're right here. Let's see. They play Denver Broncos, so that's a division game. And Denver didn't even look. Wow, I think that was probably the worst. They can't
score, man. Wow.
That was probably the worst Sunday night football game I probably watched. And, but shout out to Dan Orlovsky. He's not the only one that ran out of back of the end zone. Jimmy Garoppolo is now part of that. He is part of that crew. But yeah, no, it's.
I want to give a shout out to the Detroit Lions, bro.
Yeah,
I know that you told me before the season started, you're like, man, I'm really rooting for them because of their hard knocks or whatever. But
yeah,
man, they are scoring. They're putting on shows, man.
Yeah, it's just their defense.
They could be 3-0. Yeah, I know Philadelphia came out hot against them, but they kept it close that entire game. So, man, I'm really proud of that team.
And they won,
1-2, but they could be 2-1 or 3-0.
Yeah, they won they won the second game and lost versus the Vikings, but the Vikings had to pull something out of their hat to win that game. So I think the Detroit Lions are just missing some key pieces on defense, just hold them afloat, because they're scoring points and they're scoring. Jared Goff is getting them in the right situation. So shout out to Detroit Lions. But Monday night football game, Dallas versus versus New York Giants. So my Dallas Cowboys versus New York Giants. Look, look, it's in New York. My keys to the game, and I'm just gonna put keys to the game that I'm looking for, is this defense. And I don't know if you can see it real quick, but Micah Parsons, hey, look, He's been dealing with flu-like symptoms, or he's been dealing with the illness. It's
He's
not
playing though, right?
not COVID related, but he's gonna play
Yeah.
because he tweeted out the little flu game with Jordan and Pippen and
Oh,
stuff like that. So he's gonna be playing. Marcus Peters is gonna be starting at left guard, so that our left guard position is solidified for not having Farouk gonna be in there.
oh, you
So
mean
because he
Jason
was
Peters?
getting Jason Peters, sorry, what I said, Marcus Peters. Oh,
He's
okay,
he's the vet, right? He's like 40 years old.
yes. So he's going to be
He's
left
starting?
guard. Tyler Smith is going to
Yeah,
be
that's a pretty good
left
left guard.
tackle. So yeah, but he's going to be in limited snaps. But my keys to the game is Kellen Moore. You're going to have to make adjustments. This is a good Giants defensive squad. They're not good on offense, but on a defensive side, our defensive line just has to eat, bro. Our defense line with Marco Parsons,
So
Dorrance
I haven't been
Armstrong.
paying a lot of attention to the Giants. So you're saying their offense isn't that good, but their defense is.
You have Dallas just needs to watch out for Saquon Barkley. Stop Saquon and let Danny Dimes try to beat you, because the Giants
Don't let Kenny
defense,
Galladay beat you, bro.
the Giants offense is just only averaging 3.9 yards per play. So that's just crazy in itself. Because I'm getting like an update. There you go. That's a crazy in itself. So that just means that they rely on Saquon Barkley most of the time, and they can't throw the ball down the field. So for me, if I'm a Cowboys D, I'm cutting everything short. Let Danny Dimes beat you far. And then Kellen Moore, run the damn ball. Tony Pollard, Zeke, Cooper Rush. Let's hope you have that.
Speaking of Cooper Rush, like what do you think so far?
Hey, look, he's a really good backup. That's all I gotta say. He's a really good backup.
He's
he
like
knows where to go.
he's like what Matt Moore was to the Dolphins.
Correct. And Matt Moore was solid. He wasn't a starter, because when you put people in the starter role, then they, I don't know what changes, but he's a solid backup. I like Cooper Rush. He makes the good reads. He won his games. He's not like, his stats last week weren't like world beating stats.
Yeah.
But it did the job. He didn't turn the ball over. He did what he had to do, and he got the win versus the Cincinnati Bengals team that was just in the Super Bowl. So
we're gonna have to replicate that, bro. We're gonna have to watch that film on you guys beating the Bengals. We're going up there. We got to take that W, man.
Hey, look, and we'll see, but I hopefully my Dallas Cowboys can win today. Then we got the commies, the Washington Commanders, next week, and then that's when we start off.
You guys win tonight. That'll be a good little.
We'll be still one. Dak's gonna come back to Philadelphia game, so he's gonna. That is gonna be Washington next week, Rams the following week, and then Philadelphia, which is gonna be, I think it's Sunday night game.
Next two winnable games, so you can easily be 3-1 before you play Philly. That's gonna be a huge game.
We could be 3. Well, we could be 3-2 because I think we're gonna lose to the Rams. So
I got the Cowboys winning tonight. I'm gonna say 24-14.
Hey, that's not you already saying that in text message. You're being
but I was joking with you. But I will say, if you guys lose, I'm gonna go in on you because you just went on my Hurricanes.
Hey, look,
with your the Jordan meme and the you have me laughing.
I know that you guys were high on your Hurricanes, and Van Dyke was supposed to be world beater. And look, what about my nose, baby? But
you haven't beaten anybody.
Come on, bro. Don't try me. It's like that. Hey, these next 3 games, when we beat Wake Forest, NC State, and Clemson, holla at me, right?
And you're gonna have my props.
Okay, holla at me. But all right. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Jose and JC from Big Meat Sports. Don't forget to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, all the major networks. But please check us out on this Apple podcast. I like it. We like it on YouTube. You get to see our lovely faces. Well, JC, you got the Tyreek Hill glasses and stuff like that, but you get to see our faces on a
I ain't taking them off until we lose, man.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, just check us out, and we'll see you on the next one.